There is an event that dropped today called the Top Dog Challenge. If you see my recent video, I thought it was a ranked mode. Technically, it kinda is ranked because there's a leaderboard. Regardless, I wanted to make this video because I wanted to discuss if this challenge is even worth it. Is this event worth doing? Now, I really love the game, don't get me wrong. I have upwards of like 150 hours and the game just dropped a few weeks ago or last week, so I'm nuts. But I think it's important to make videos like this to talk about some of the issues we may be having with the game. Now, in theory, the Top Dog Challenge isn't that bad. You play some games, you rank up, you lose games, you don't lose any points, so really you're just rewarded for winning your games. At the end of the event, you get rewards for your placement. On the surface, it actually sounds really good, but when you start going deeper into the event, you start to notice some things. First off is the placement. In order to get rewarded for this event, you have to place top 50. I'm gonna go out on a limb and say there are at least more than 10K players playing the game. You need to be top 50. And to get anything good, you need to be top 10. Now, personally, I don't think really any of that stuff is good except the placement number 1. That gold icon, pretty clean, I love it. But I'm sure to a lot of the community, I could be wrong though, let me know in the comments, but I'm gonna assume that those rewards are not enough to stress out getting top 50 out of all the players that play PvP in this game. The second issue is the fact that you can play 2v2 and rank up on the leaderboard that way. If I'm a really good player and my friend is a really good player, that's 2 spots off the leaderboard right there. You can spam queue 2v2s and can continuously climb the leaderboard. That basically means if people decide to do 2v2s and they're really good players, you're probably not even gonna reach top 50. You're already knocked out. The third thing about it is I personally don't believe the game is balanced enough to have something like this go on. There are too many characters that have way too many advantages. There's too many characters that have way too many plus frames. This basically means that someone has to try extra hard to beat some of these characters when the opposing opponent doesn't have to do that much work. Now, as I said, I love the game, I play a ton, but I have to bust my butt to beat some of these characters. Finn, Bugs Bunny, Harley Quinn, Joker, the list goes on and on, honestly, about how many characters in the game are rewarded for just mashing buttons. Now, I do understand this is not Smash Brothers, it is meant to be more of a beginner-friendly type title. However, personally, at least I feel that there should not be so many characters in the game that get rewarded for just pressing buttons. And not just being rewarded for pressing buttons, but making it extremely difficult to punish the person just pressing buttons. This means you're already at a disadvantage based off which character you pick. This means you have to play out of your mind to even beat those players, and technically you could be better than those players, but the characters that they choose makes it so you have to be insanely good to beat them. Now, that's not to say this game is completely unbalanced. It is a pretty balanced game. However, having an event that only lasts a few days and having a placement of plus 50 to be rewarded when you have characters that literally can win more just by being selected is a little bit rough. I would have honestly preferred rank to drop and just have this event dismissed. In my opinion, it's not worth doing this event because it is way too stressful. You need to place top 50. The rewards really aren't that great. You're gonna have to play characters that are really, really good or else you're not gonna win. You're gonna have to play for a long time. And if there's a lot of people in that top 50 that plays with a partner, you're guaranteed to get knocked out 2 spots because it's way easier to just play with someone that you know, especially if you're both good, and win and win and win and win. On top of that, the amount of experience you get, at least when I was playing, is the exact same. You get the same experience that you would get from 1v1s and 2v2s, which means you might as well just 2v2 and kind of cheat the system. As I said, I don't think it's worth it. I understand what they were going for, but I feel like it could have been done differently. It could have had more spaces on the leaderboard. Like, it could have gave more rewards. I just think that's a little rough. Top 50 out of like how many players that play this game? Personally, I would just like to have ranked mode. So that way, if someone is top 50, cool, they're rewarded, but everybody else that still played ranked and participated is also rewarded as well. Although personally, I know I can compete in that race, I just really dread doing it, and I don't think it's worth it, at least for me. But of course, I always want to know what you guys think. I love reading your comments, and I appreciate each and every one of you that do comment. Let me know down below. Do you agree that it's probably not worth doing, it's just way too stressful, and you don't really get rewarded for putting in that time and effort? Or do you feel like I'm crazy and this event is fine? Or you can agree and still feel like I'm crazy. I'm okay with that. But until next time, you know what I always say. Thank you guys for doing what? Popping often. Will often.